I'm diving straight into something that's genuinely changed my life here in America, where, let's face it, we're surrounded by fast food, convenience meals, and processed snacks literally everywhere. I want to talk to you about low-carb living, yes, low-carb eating. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, great, another diet trend, hear me out. I've tried them all, from vegan to keto, paleo to intermittent fasting. Out of everything I've experimented with, low-carb combined with intermittent fasting has truly transformed me, inside and out. If you've seen my previous video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I successfully dropped 22 pounds in just 6 weeks by going low-carb. Imagine going from 214 pounds down to 192 pounds not by starving, not by counting calories obsessively, but simply by making smart, straightforward dietary choices. Now, you might wonder, especially my fellow Africans out there, what exactly are you eating if you're not touching rice, pasta, bread, fufu, yams, or plantains? Honestly, at first, it was hard even for me to imagine life without these staples. But low carb doesn't mean deprivation, it means adaptation. So today, I'm sharing exactly what a day looks like for me on this low carb journey, giving you a realistic, relatable glimpse into how this lifestyle actually works day to day. Before we jump into it, I have to address something crucial. Please, if you're dealing with any chronic health condition, consult your doctor before jumping into any drastic dietary changes. What works for me might not be perfect for you, and that's okay. This isn't medical advice. It's just me sharing what's been truly effective in my journey. When I first decided to try low-carb living, I did something incredibly important. I saw my doctor. I got blood work done, checking my cholesterol, kidney function, thyroid levels, the whole 9 yards. Why? Because health isn't just about losing weight. It's about understanding your body deeply. My next lab appointment is soon, and honestly, I'm excited to see my results. This gives me objective proof that low carb isn't just making me slimmer, it's making me healthier. Now, back to the food. The low carb lifestyle for me isn't keto or paleo. It's simply eating fresh, whole foods. Growing up in the Democratic Republic of Congo, processed foods weren't even part of my vocabulary. We had gardens, fresh veggies, and livestock. Fast forward to America, and my first introduction to processed food was Burger King. Honestly, one of the worst experiences I've ever had. Yet, years later, like many of you, I found myself trapped in convenience eating. Breaking that cycle by returning to low carb, whole foods has been like returning home. My day starts with intermittent fasting. I don't eat breakfast or lunch. Instead, I enjoy my coffee with some whipping cream. Yes, low carb allows dairy in moderation, and I love my cream. Dinner is the main event. Typically, it's something like salmon with cabbage and maybe a tiny portion of potatoes, just enough to satisfy without compromising my low-carb goals. Some days it's lamb chops, pork chops, or pork loin paired with cauliflower rice, cabbage, spinach, asparagus, or other green veggies. These meals take less than 45 minutes, are incredibly tasty, filling, and keep me feeling great. And speaking of cauliflower rice, if you're skeptical, trust me, I've been there. At first, the thought of swapping rice for cauliflower seemed impossible. But when seasoned right, cauliflower rice has been a total game changer for low-carb living. You can cook it exactly like your favorite dishes: fried rice, jollof, pilaf, and trust me, seasoned correctly, it's fantastic. Vegetables are my heroes on this low-carb journey: cabbage, asparagus, spinach, and greens. They're nutritious, satisfying, and perfect for low-carb living. Honestly, vegetables have never tasted better. Now, a lot of you ask about fruits. Fruits are healthy, yes, but many are high in sugars, carbs. On low carb, I've chosen to limit high sugar fruits like mangoes, pineapples, oranges, and juices. Instead, berries and avocado have become staples in my low carb pantry. What about fats? Healthy fats are essential to low carb success. Avocados, olive oil, and butter have become my kitchen staples. They add flavor, nutrition, and satisfaction to every meal. Here's something important. Low-carb living doesn't mean obsessing over every gram of carbs. It means choosing your carbs wisely, limiting processed foods, refined sugars, and high glycemic foods that spike insulin and sabotage your efforts. Let's talk about the social side of low-carb. Living in America, we celebrate everything with carbs: birthdays, holidays, gatherings. It can feel impossible, but remember, your health is worth it. Occasionally indulging is fine, but I always remind myself, temporary pleasures shouldn't compromise long-term health goals. One of the biggest tips for maintaining low carb consistently is cooking at home. Before, we used to eat out multiple times a week. Now, preparing fresh meals at home helps me control exactly what's going into my body. Restaurant meals often hide excessive unhealthy fats, sugars, and false things that are secretly sabotaging your health. Another crucial tip is simplicity. Low carb doesn't need to be complicated. If you find yourself overwhelmed, just remember, shop the perimeter of your grocery store produce, meats, healthy fats. If your ancestors wouldn't recognize it as food, skip it. A strong support system is everything. When my husband joined my low carb journey, it made all the difference. Preparing one meal for the whole family simplifies everything and helps everyone stay on track. Finally, stress management and regular health checkups are as crucial as your diet. Low carb living is holistic. It's a lifestyle, not a temporary diet. Reduce stress, get good sleep, and check your health regularly. These things support your low carb efforts dramatically. 8 weeks into this low carb lifestyle, I've now lost another 10 pounds since the last update. That's 32 pounds total. I feel incredible, energized, and empowered to continue. This isn't a fleeting trend. It's a sustainable, life-enhancing way to live. So if you've been thinking about low carb, wondering if it's sustainable, achievable, or even enjoyable, I'm proof that it absolutely is. The hardest part is starting, but once you commit, the rewards are endless. Thanks for sticking around. Drop your questions and thoughts in the comments, and let's continue this low carb journey together. Your health is worth it, trust me.